Alright guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to draw the outline of your face and how to actually use the grid method. So we have our grid done on our paper. You have your picture either printed it out or on your grid hashtag app. And here is what we are going to be doing. So to draw your picture, you're basically going to be looking at where things intersect on your squares. So for example, what I like to do is I like to draw column by column, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look at this square, which is gonna be this one, and I see that my hair intersects right here and right about here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make those markings on my square on my sheet of paper very lightly. I feel like it intersects there and there. So that's going to give me a little guiding point of where I'm going to be drawing this top corner. So I'm just going to kind of shape it. And I've got that corner, okay? Next box. So I see that it intersects there, and it actually kind of goes over the edge of my paper. So then I'm going to go ahead and follow that very lightly to the edge of the paper. Okay, then I see that over here my forehead kind of starts, so I'm going to make a little mark in there and here. So now we're moving to my third box. It kind of starts here and here. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing the edge of my forehead. And I can kind of tell that my hair is going this way, right? It's kind of crazy. It's the same thing. Now we're moving on to our fourth box. So this one has like a little arch, but it interacts there. So I'm going to draw my little marking, and I see that it kind of goes in a little bit and out. So I'm going to create that small curvature, the outline of my face. Moving on to the next box, here's where my cheek kind of starts. So I see that it interacts right here. I'm going to start drawing that. Okay, and then all these boxes end up kind of turning into hair. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip this box because all it is, it's just hair. You're eventually, for my females, you are going to have to draw that hair. And you can just leave certain markings to kind of guide you on where the highlights of your hair are. It's really not that important. And then down here, I see that there's like this edge over here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that edge of my hair. That way I have some guidance as to how my hair is flowing. And then my hair seems to kind of end over here. So I'm just going to make those markings to show where my hair is. Okay? So I finished this column. Moving on to the next one. So one thing that I like to do, like I said, I like to do columns because I forget what I'm drawing. So it's almost like I'm blocking this entire side and only focusing on what I see. And this is one of the biggest challenges that my students have, is drawing what they see, not what they think they see. So the grid method really helps you kind of just draw exactly what you see on each square. Sometimes I like to even draw my faces upside down because I forget their faces. That's a little trick that you can do. But we're going to continue with our face. Here we go, second box. I see my forehead and my hairline kind of meet there. So it's about halfway. I'm going to guesstimate it here. Here's where my forehead kind of continues, I'm assuming. This box is still my forehead, so I'm not going to draw anything on there. And then we get to the eye, or the eyebrow. So the eyebrow starts about halfway. So I'm going to guesstimate here and here. And it doesn't quite make it all the way. So I'm going to try and sketch out. I barely have an arch on my eyebrows. And then right now we are just focusing on the outline, just putting down information to see where things are, okay? So now we're going to move on. You can see that almost like the top of my eyelid's part of there, and I see that it intersects not quite halfway, maybe like 3/4 of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of sketch that eyelid, and then part of my eyeliner. You can kind of see it there too. Okay. So we're done with this square. We're going to move on to the lower square. So here is where I see how big my eyes are. So my eyelid starts right there. So I'm going to make that marking. I see that my eyeliner kind of reaches a little bit further. So I'm going to leave a marking about here to tell me how far my eye needs to go. And then I have some wrinkles, right? Because I'm old. Put the wrinkles there. So I'm going to start kind of creating the shape. I also like to draw where my iris and pupil are. So it seems like here's where my iris is going to go. And then it seems like this is the direction my eye is going. I see that my winged liner kind of comes this way. I see some eyelashes kind of coming out, and then I have like a few wrinkles here, right? Okay, so that tells me that part of my eye. Notice how there's a little bit like my tear duct is on the other square. I haven't drawn it yet. I'll come back to it. Right now I'm just drawing what I see in this box. This is very important because this is how you guys are going to keep your proportions right. It might look like a very small eye, but when you finish drawing everything, everything's going to be to proportion. So please only draw what you see, not what you think you see, okay? Very important to keep your proportions. So I also see that here my cheek kind of interacts at the edge of this square. So we're going to go ahead and keep going with this curvature right here. Okay, moving on to the bottom square. You can kind of see I have some dimples here. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to continue with my cheeks. Especially this shape. This shape tends to look weird when you're drawing your cheeks. So follow what you see. This next square only has that little corner of my cheek, so we're just going to keep going. And then once again, it's just hair. So I'll come back to the hair later, just for the sake of time. We're going to move on now to our third one. So we're going to be drawing part of the nose, finish that eye, and the mouth. So we're going to go to the top, that's just hair. The second part has part of my forehead, almost finishing, so we're going to go ahead and draw that. I guess some part of the top is over here too. Okay. This is just forehead. Move on, there's part of my eyebrow here, so I have to extend this eyebrow a little bit. And then we're going to finish this part. So we've got the tear duct. Here. And just part of that wrinkle comes here. Okay. So here starts the nose also. So we're going to continue this little mark that we have here. I feel like the ball of my nose is starting here, and then we have a little bit of my nostril here. When we move to the bottom one, you can see my bottom of my nose. It's kind of hard to see, but here are some of the important markings. So we're going to start here. That bottom of my nose is going to go here. And then I've got part of my nostril here. So I can kind of tell the shape that my nose is going to be making here. Okay. And then my lips are in the same square as my nose. So my lip, I have a very thin upper lip and it starts about halfway. And then my thick lip makes it a little bit past the other square. So I also got teeth in this picture, and teeth are very tricky to draw. So I'm gonna look, one thing that you can do is hold your pencil in the angle that you know your certain lines are going, and then just kind of trace it over. It'll help you also draw in the right angle, because angles are also important. So it seems like this is the way my lip goes. That's my bottom lip. And you can also measure with your tip of your pencil. So if you look at the tip, I know that that's how far this lip goes. And teeth, really what they are is they're just kind of lines. You focus more on the gum aspect of your teeth, not the actual teeth. So, seeing that this one goes this way. I'm not going to spend too much time on the teeth. I don't want you guys to stress over the teeth. Okay, and there's your lip. Then we keep moving down. I see that my chin kind of comes to an end here, and there's a little hump here, so just gonna keep going. And the rest is hair. So you kind of get the gist of how we're going to keep doing this. Really constantly reference your picture of where things intersect and compare them to your box. That way you finish your outline, okay? But this is how you go ahead and do the outline of your portrait. Please just draw what you see, not what you think you see. Even if it's starting to look weird, don't worry about it. Everything's going to come together when you start shading, okay?